Welcome to an example in which we are solving a triangle. So solve this situation for all possible triangles. There's angle A, side little b. If no answer exists, enter D and E. There's the answers already. So let me show you how we get to those answers. So let me begin by just drawing for ourselves a triangle. Oops, try that again. There. All right. Remember that angle A is always across from side A, and angle B is across from B, and angle C is across from little c. See how angle A is across from A, B is across from B, and C is across from C. That's always how we set up our triangles. Doesn't really matter where you put A, B, and C as long as A is across from A, B is across from B, and C is across from C. Okay, angle A is 111 degrees. So I'll come in here and go, okay, 111 degrees. And little a is 27, side little b is 18. Okay, so starting off right there. So how do we know what we're going to do to solve this problem? Well, notice it's not a right triangle. It's not a right triangle, right? It doesn't have a 90-degree angles. Okay, so what? So we cannot use SOHCAHTOA. We can't use any of the SOHCAHTOA because that always has the H is hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse is the side right here across from the right angle. So we don't have a right angle. We can't use SOHCAHTOA. So we can't do that. So then what are we going to do? Well, we're going to use, notice that we have a side and opposite angle. That tells us we're going to use law of sines because we have side and opposite angle pair. We have side A and angle A. We have A with A. We know both those numbers. When I say we have them, I mean we know what little a is and we know what capital A is. We have both of those. So we can use law of sines. That's how we know. Okay, so what is the law of sines? Bring it back down here. So what is the law of sines? The law of sines says that law of sines says that little a over sine capital A equals little b over sine b equals little c over sine c. So I'm just going to use two. You don't use all three fractions. Just going to use two. How do you know which two? Well, for sure the a with the a, because that's a pair we have. And then the other one we have is little b, so I'll match that up with b. So I'm going to use these first two. So I'm going to use little a over sine a equal little b over sine b. And I know that little a is 27 and sine of 111 for sine of capital A. Little b is 18, and I don't know angle B. I can find that. So you see how there's my setup. I only have one unknown, so I can solve this equation. So I'm going to, how do you solve it? You're going to go diagonal, diagonal, multiply. So this will become 27 sine B is 18 sine 111 degrees, like that. So I just went diagonal, diagonal on that. Doesn't matter which one you put in the left and the right. Now I'm trying to solve this for the b. So I'm going to come in and go, okay. So let's go divide by 27. Boom, boom. So sine b is 18. So 11 over 27. And now one more step. How do you, in fact, let me do that again. Get a little more room there. Oops. Okay, so how do I finish? How do I get b alone? How do I get rid of this sign? Can I divide by the sign? No, 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 you can't do that because this isn't multiplication. This doesn't mean sign times b. It means sign of b. It's like that b is plugged into the sign function, like f of 3 or something, like a function. This doesn't mean multiplication, even though there's parentheses. We know function with a number next to it means plug that 3 into the function. If your function f of x is something like, 3x squared plus 2 or whatever, it means plug a 3 in there for x, right? It doesn't mean multiply. Well, that's what sign is. It's sign of b. So anyway, how do you get rid of that sign? You do sign inverse. So whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Cancels out. So b will equal whatever the calculator says this is. So I'm going to go to the calculator now and do that. I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to do sine inverse of 18 sine 111 over 27. This exactly. Now, let me show you. I'll go to here I've got a Desmos calculator for you. You can get to the Desmos calculator right on the website. Just click on the scientific calculator. So here we go. I'm going to do it in pieces. I'm going to start with the inside. I'm going to go hit the fraction button. I hit the fraction. 18 sine of 111. And then on the bottom, what was it? 20. It was 27. 27. I'm going to hit enter. Now I haven't done the sine inverse. And then I'll go over to function, hit sine inverse. I'm going to use and I'll go back to main and I'll hit the answer button. See that answer button on the bottom? Hit answer and it grabs the last answer. Hit enter. And there it is. There's the sine inverse. And it's 38.49. That's our answer. See how I did it in pieces? I did the inside first, the 18 sine 111 over 27, and then I hit sine inverse of the answer. I hit the answer button. It's on the bottom. So if you're using a handheld calculator, those almost all have answer buttons also. That's the easy way. You don't have to type in everything at once. It's nice. And notice I'm in degree mode. See this degree here? I'll change it. Radian, degree, radian, degree. So I'm in degree mode because that was 111 degrees. So there's my answer in degrees, 38.49. So back to the problem. So there it is. And we see the answer, sure enough, right up here. There's angle B, 38.49065. 38.49065. 65 degrees. Okay, so we got B. Now we need to get some other things. So that's B. I'll check. Now, how do we get angle C? Well, so I'll write this here, 38. 38. Oh, 65 degrees, right? Okay, so now notice we've got two of the angles. We can find angle C because every triangle holds 180, right? So we'll do that. Come up here. Angle C. So I'm going to add the 38.49065 degrees plus the 111 degrees. That equals 139.49065. And then just take away from 180, right? Because the triangle has to hold 180 minus that answer. And that'll equal, what will that be? 30.5093 degrees. Yep, there it is. That's angle C. 30.5093 degrees. Get angle C. Now, finally, how are we going to get side little c? We see the answer right here. How are we going to get that? Well, notice that those two are across from each other. So I can do law of sines again. This time I'm going to do A over A and C over C in law of sines. But remember, whenever you're using law of sines or anything in math, you have to use a lot of digits. So I'm going to use this number in my calculation. So use a lot of digits on that number, right? So let's do it. So finally, I'm in here now. Oops. And I'm going to try to find C. Find little c. So I'm going to go little c over the sine of c is little a over the sine. You can put the a first or the c, it doesn't really matter. So little c over sine of, oh wait, we know capital C is 30. So let's see right here. 0.59, no, 509 degrees is equal to little a. I don't remember little a. At 20, a little a is 27 over sine 111. 27 over sine 111, like that. And then we go diagonal, diagonal. And so, more space here. There we go. So we're going to get little c sine 111 equals 27 sine 30.5093 degrees. And then I'm going to divide by sine of 111. Boom, boom. And so there's my answer for little c. Let's go to the Desmos calculator and we'll type that in. Just like it is. So go to the Desmos. Go, okay. So that was fraction on the top was 27 sine 30.5, so 30 point, oops, 30.50935 degrees. I'm in degree mode over sine 111. There we go, 14.6825. Just like that. So we go back, 14.6825. Hopefully that's the answer up here. Yes, it is. Check. There we go. So recapping, what did we do? We took the information they gave us here in the beginning, and I drew a triangle. Right, so I drew this triangle right here. A is across from A, right? No, A is across from A, B is across from B, C is across from C. And I put in the A is a 111, the little a is 27, the B is 18. And right away I said I've got A and half of B, so I can get B. So I did the A over A is B over B, law of signs there. And I was able to cross multiply. And can't get my iPad will not roll down. There we go. And I was able to solve for B. And once I had B, I could find angle C because the three angles have to total 180, don't they? So I found the missing angle. And then finally, I did C over C is A over A, law of signs again, and found the third and missing side. And so there we go.